Byron Reese has spent 25 years as a tech entrepreneur. He is the CEO of a technology research and analytics firm.
An award-winning futurist, technologist, and author. The founder of several high-tech companies. He has obtained numerous patents, and the websites he has launched have received over 1 billion visitors. He's also the author of several acclaimed books. He served on both private and public boards of directors and has founded several nonprofit organizations. Please join me in welcoming Byron Reese.
I am the future of blank guy. That's what I talk about, the future of blank. Whatever it is you need somebody to talk about the future of, that's what I do. And I have given so many of these speeches. I've done the future of banking, the future of blockchain, the future of sand. The sand people had that event at a Ritz-Carlton, so they're doing pretty well. I've done the future of self-driving cars, the future of upholstery, the future of consumer credit, the future of the insurance industry, the future of concrete, the future of higher education, the future of 3D printing, the future of agriculture, the future of solar power, the future of delivering packages with robots, the future of office space, and most recently, the future of the nation state.
You know, we get a lot of people on who are very grim and bleak about the future. In fact, a lot of us feel kind of grim, but you don't have that message.
Not at all. In fact, I think a better tomorrow isn't just possible. I think it is actually all but inevitable at this point. I mean, the most vexing problems humanity has are fundamentally technological problems. You have disease, which is nothing but technology. You have poverty, you have hunger, you have ignorance, which is kind of its own special class, and you have war. And everything except maybe war, you can argue is just technological. And if it is a technological problem, then almost definitionally it has a technological solution. You know, for 5,000 years, utopians have dreamed of a world where everybody had a good life, but historically there's just never been enough of the good stuff. Not enough food, not enough medicine, not enough education. And what happens is technology is a trick we learn that overcomes scarcity. Now, I am here today because I think things are about to change for a fourth time. And if I had just started off by saying, I think things are about to change, well, you know, what news is there in that? But if you say things are going to change in a way they've only ever changed 3 times in history, and one of them is when we got speech, well, that's worth paying attention to. What is this fourth big change? I think it's 2 technologies that came to us together. The first is artificial intelligence, a method by which we take human thought and we outsource it to machines. And the other is robotics, where we take human action and outsource it to machines. And the thought that may be percolating to the top of your brain is, well, if we take thought and action and get machines to do it, then what do we do? And so I would read these biographies, and I was drawn to these ones, not about movie stars or athletes, but about people who did great things. And I don't mean great in the Alexander the Great kind of great. I mean people who their life transformed the world. It made the world fundamentally a better place. And the neat thing about it was they were all over any number of disciplines. They ranged from Marie Curie all the way to Plato, Da Vinci, to Jonas Salk, to Norman Borlaug. And if you don't know about Norman Borlaug is credited with saving 1 billion lives. I mean, like, who does that? You know, at some point you're just showing off, you know? And he was a botanist who helped make India and Mexico nations that exported food instead of importing it. And so I would lay in bed in the East Texas town I grew up in, and I would read these biographies, and I would literally clutch them when I would get to the end, because I would have these transcendent moments where for just an instant, I was aware of the possibility of one person actually being able to have an effect on everybody on the planet. Or consider disease like smallpox. In its last 100 years of existence, smallpox killed 500 million people. That is roughly the number of people who have died in every war ever fought. And yet, Jenner created a vaccine for it in the 1700s, before Pasteur graced us with germ theory. Or consider what we've done to polio, which now, new polio cases are as common as being killed by lightning. Salk created a vaccine for that in what is compared to today a low-tech world. And our world of today is going to be deemed a low-tech world very soon. where we can already deconstruct our viral foes down to like their core. We can like look inside of them, and soon we'll be able to model them in a computer. All these things are changing. In my book, I give 50 reasons there will be no war in the future. And one of them is simply that business accomplishments have replaced our notion of achievement for men over military accomplishments. And
Thank God.
Yes, absolutely. Second is the value of targets has gone way up. They say if Tokyo got leveled, it would be $8 trillion to rebuild. And so, that's a big disincentive for Tokyo, Japan not to go into war.
No more 30 seconds over Tokyo. It's too expensive.
Exactly. As wealth levels rise, and everybody gets an iPod and a comfortable life and all of that, their tendency to want to wage war with their neighbors decline.
What aspects of our lives as we continue to develop AI and AGI will be most impacted, Mr. Reese, in your view?
I think a couple of things. So technology does this trick where it doubles in capability on a predictable basis. Computers, for instance, double in power, roughly speaking, every 2 years. But it turns out all kinds of technologies do that. It may not be every 2 years, but they double and they double and they double and they double and they double. And humans are terrible at kind of just understanding what a big deal that is, because nothing in your life behaves that way. You don't wake up with 2 kids, then 4 kids, then 8 kids, 16 kids. So there's an old story to try to illustrate what a big deal this is. And it's about the invention of the game of chess. About 1,000 years ago in present-day India, the man who invented it brought it to the ruler and he said, I have invented chess. And the ruler said, this is really nice. What would you like for a reward? And he said, I'm a humble man. Take a single grain of rice and put it on that first square. And then 2 on the next one, and then 4, 8, 16. And I just want the rice in the upper right-hand corner. Now, how much rice do you think that is? I mean, the whole point is you're going to underguess, but how much rice do you think that is? It turns out it's more rice than has ever been cultivated in the history of our planet. And when the ruler found that out, he had the man put to death. And there's another little life lesson to pull away from that. But the point is, nobody's mind goes there. Nobody says, I suppose that's more rice than has ever been cultivated. So what does it mean? It means that while it took us 3,000 years to get from the abacus to the iPad, in just 25 years, we're going to have something as far ahead of the iPad as it is ahead of the abacus, something that none of us can even come close to dreaming of. I've always been fascinated by utopian literature. It began in 1650, imagining the better world, what it would be like. And they had some pretty crazy ideas, frankly. They imagined a world in which people could choose their own rulers instead of having kings rule over them. They imagined a world with legal equality between men and women. They imagined a world where everyone was educated, not just a few people. And they imagined a world where you could choose your own religion instead of having to believe the state religion. And you know what? We haven't delivered on that for everybody, but we're on the way in our time to delivering that to the world. And so it's appropriate for us to imagine the utopia we want to build 20 years from now. What do we want? And we're going to build, whatever that is, we're going to build it, and then we're going to build a better world than that. And then we're going to build a better world than that, until one day we're going to wake up in a world we can't imagine all that much better. And that's the world we're going to take to the stars. We're going to populate 1 billion planets, each with 1 billion people, each empowered to live their best possible life. Thank you very much.